Hey, what is going on, everybody? Boilon here, and in today's video, we're going to be talking about a combo team here. So, two teams, or a combination of, that I've been having a lot of fun with. And believe it or not, yes, Boilon does have fun in Marvel Strike Force. So, I want to talk about what I'm using and why it's so fun. This is the combination of the Underworld team and the Tangled Web team. I put them together with some of the characters that I have available right now and that I have built. And the results are quite fascinating, frankly. So we're going to be doing an amalgamation of war and RTA clips, just to showcase like how this team performs, what they do, and why I'm having a lot of fun. And of course, in the beginning, we're going to talk about the teams in my roster page, talk about where I have them at, and so on and so forth. So if you're ready to go, let's boil this down. Now, some of you might remember from the Abomination video that I leveled up my Nobu to level 90. Now, he's still sitting here at level 90, gear tier 14. Honestly, I want to hit this button, but I can't because I'm concerned about my catalyst still. I have less than 1,000 on the health, and SBCs more broadly. Like, I don't want to consume too many of them. He also uses his focus, tier 4, so that's 210 focus pieces, plus his unique is focus. So, even just to get him to gear tier 15, that would be well over 400 focus pieces or something like that. So, I don't really want to, get rid of my resources that badly, but I will hit this, I swear. Once I have the ability to do it, I will do it. So he's 154k. Taskmaster, though, in this matchup anyways, is one of the more important ones. He's probably the second most important character in this combo. If you guys have seen any videos regarding Underworld at all, Taskmaster is the heavy lifter as far as damage goes, because he's assisting all of the time when any of the minions or just anyone takes a turn. So that's why I have him at blue ISO 3 as well, so that when he gets all the assists, he's stripping additional buffs, if there is any, and putting on that vulnerability as well. Now, it's really important that you get a T4 into his ultimate. My head's in the way. But it allows you to apply additional blinds and heal blocks to extra targets. This is really, really important. Actually, you don't get the heal block without this, I think. So you need that, but the blind is, I guess, an additional target, more damage, and this is really important. The passive, it is important. You probably should have this. I should probably have it, frankly, but I've been kicking ass without it. It's probably the next thing that I'm going to get. Some of this is more related to the full Underworld team, and I only use 3 Underworld with 2 Tangled Web with Spider-Man Noir, Spider-Man 2099, and I don't really have any of the other T4s yet because they're just damage. Maybe if I go a little bit further with them, I will. And I'm using Spider-Man 2099 right now. I actually use him in Arena. Now, that's not what this video is about, but yeah, him and Spider-Weaver together are quite something. Now, for T4s for him, I have 2. I have the passive to give additional focus for himself and Spider-Weaver in this instance. And that's a little bit important because landing his ult is really important to why he's kicking so much ass, why this team is kicking ass, because it just does so much. It's clearing random positive effects, you're applying slow and defense down for 2 turns, and you can possibly steal Deathproof as well. And it actually works on all allies, not just Tangled Web. So if you're using this and you target someone with Deathproof, it's going to take that for the entire team as well. Really cool. And of course, this gives the turn bar for Tangled for Spider-Weaver and the other Tangled Web allies outside of Cosmic Crucible as well. So very, very cool, fun character. And the other 2 that I'm using is going to be Kingpin. Believe it or not, do not sleep on Kingpin. I will at some point take him to gear tier 14, level 75. I don't need to take him too high, but don't discount Kingpin because he's actually pretty good, and you need to have him on the team because all of the assists that you're getting, the assists now that are coming in from his passive, and that spawn bodyguard does help depending on who you go up against. But you do actually get assists. If someone gives it anyways, because I've got assists regardless of who the character is, but of course it's going to really impact villain characters for the assists now. I think it's the ultimate maybe, because I've actually gained assist chance from other random allies as well, including Spider-Weaver. So super, super fun. We'll see. And then of course my Spider-Weaver is somewhere down here. Yeah, so she is the second big, or she is the biggest. Taskmaster's the second biggest. Those two are kind of the most important to get this going off the ground. And of course, really, you know that you're going to have to kind of max her out anyways because of Apocalypse, so that's a good idea. So let's go on first over to some RTA. And that's where I want to do a little bit of clips and show you how this works. Now, I almost never do RTA. Like who does RTA these days anymore? But it is really fun to use these characters and kind of showcase like what they can do. And keep in mind, this is outside of all of their intended game modes, including Underworld outside of War and Tangled Web outside of Cosmic Crucible. And they're still pretty nasty and a lot of fun to play. So you can see my team power there. Or rewind if you missed it. It's really, I don't know if you need to have Noir necessarily, because then it becomes less of an Underworld team. This is 3 and 2 members of each team. This is a little bit low, so that's probably not what I wanted to see here. We might skip around and jump around to some montage bits here, depending on what fights I go up against, but we'll show this anyways and just show it how it works. Even with another Spider Weaver on the team, we have 2099 going first. That applies the slow, and we can basically, I don't even need to stun her. I'm going to do it onto Omega Red here, and because she's going to die really quick by Taskmaster. Taskmaster's going to blow her out of the water right here. So it doesn't really matter. Taskmaster does so much damage, we just killed them all, and I can stick this in auto, frankly, and you'll see how it plays out. Actually, I should have summoned with Nobu instead, but it doesn't matter. There's so much damage coming out from this, and it starts with the ultimate from Spider Weaver, but actually a lot of the damage does come from Taskmaster. You'll see that when I play the next battle, because I'll actually summon Nobu's minions, and then the Kingpin minions, and then there's just so many minions on the field that they all get assists by Taskmaster, and it's just absolutely crazy. I have some like pretty huge punch-ups against Unlimited X-Men. I've beaten like all of the Horseman teams. It's honestly really bonkers. And the Tangled Web are there to kind of help control the fight in the start. But like I said, the bulk of that damage, though, is going to stem from Taskmaster assisting all of the characters and the minions. So hopefully, again, maybe we'll need to jump ahead to a match. Sometimes this takes a little while. There we go. Weapon X, Emma, instead of Lady Deathstrike. That's kind of weird. They're probably going to fall pretty quick. Like, it almost doesn't matter. I've won like 9 out of 10 of these battles. I'm going to focus on Omega Red, though, because he's probably going to have the highest resistance, which it didn't matter. I don't even think that I need to stun Emma. I think she's going to die anyways. I think I will kill her with Taskmaster. I think it'll do that much damage that it... Yeah. We just one-shot Emma, so it didn't really matter. I want to show what happened, and all these misses, right, because of the charges from Spider Weaver. And, like, it doesn't matter what character they are. They just drop. And there we got the assist from Ghost Spider as well. And so with all the minions on the field, now I'm going to stick it on auto, and you're going to see, and hand archers are really fun, because they just, if there's any additional buffs left over, they get removed, right? And so I wish that there was more hand archers, because I think they're a little bit better than Hand Blade Master. Get the stun on Taskmaster, more minions, and it's just over. Honestly, my Hand Blade Master minions from Nobu can like crit for like 200k, and it's really, really funny. Alright, okay, so it took me a while to find something that I actually wanted to fight and record. So this is quite interesting. This is a Gamma Rogue team. Now, I am still looking for a high, full, unlimited X-Men. It's been a little bit challenging. Something similar, though, here. We're going to be stunning Rogue, of course. We can't do much to Red Hulk right now. But because of those charges, he might go for it. But, well, okay, he didn't go for it because he's manualing it. But, I mean, he would have missed anyways. And so what we're going to do is we're going to blind over here on the primary target. And you can see how much damage it does. It's honestly pretty insane. I don't want to hit him too many times, though, so I'd rather just get rid of some of these other characters in the meantime. And you can already see that, like, Taskmaster's ult basically just F's them up. And that taunt is gone already. Doesn't even matter. And we're going to just pick off some of these other ones first. We're going to get to Red Hulk in a minute. And we're just kind of try to not to add too many of those charges with weaker attacks. So that's why I'm kind of focusing on Hulk. And then when you do get back around to Taskmaster's other turn, you can just stun him. So usually it's not... Look how hard those Blade Masters, 140k per hit. This is just insane. Okay, and so yeah, he's at 4 charges, but he's going to bleed out, I think. Or nope, he'll just die from the Striker attack. There you go. City villains and an OG character kicking the crap out of Red Hulk and Rogue. Okay, this was the battle I was looking for. So this is a 700k unlimited X-Men with 3 gear tier 16. I think it's going to go the same way that all of my other attacks have gone. So primary target here with Spider-Man 2099 on Rogue. We got the debuffs on everyone. We're going to stun Rogue. And we're going to make sure the Taskmaster blind goes onto Gambit with the... and that's really important. After the flip here, of course. Come on, Dazzler. Now, because of the trauma, she can't flip it onto on Rogue there, so that's fine. And that's going to miss anyways. But we still should have Taskmaster going first just before Gambit here, despite the speed up, I think. Or no. Oh, wow. Oh, no. Sorry, that doesn't matter. I forgot. My bad. Because Spider-Weaver has the charges, so even if he goes in for that, it's not going to do anything. So from here, we would still want to apply... the blind, sorry, to Gambit, so that he's not going to do. He might actually die anyways. It did get cleansed by Dazzler on her turn, unfortunately. But sometimes when you have Gambit on blind, basically his passive does nothing. I mean, it doesn't really matter too much because he's still going to go down in a second here, despite the damage that I am actually taking for once. But don't worry, I'll come back from this. So Rogue's on her deathbed still. I'm surprised I haven't been able to get to her normally. Maybe she's a little bit higher than the previous ones I fought. Gambit should go down here. There we go. And we're going to go back to Rogue over here. Some more damage onto Rogue. And she's going to go down by a Hand Blade Master. Can you believe it? Hand Blade Master and Nobu are killing X-Men. Like, it's just, it honestly makes me giggle. Like, how nuts that some of this is. More minions, more minions. That's all we need is more minions. Get a stun out on Dazzler. There we go. And I could stick this in auto. We did get another turn for Spider-Weaver, but it didn't really matter at that point. If you look at some of the damage numbers that are coming out from the minions, it's honestly super shocking. Now, my Nobu is level 90, so that is something, but those Blade Masters do hit pretty hard, which makes me want to think of T4ing that summon to get more of those out. Anyways, let's do some war gameplay footage. Okay, and so I actually had to do this recording at a different time, hence you guys might notice I'm wearing a different t-shirt. That's because my Alliance War was running at the same time that I was trying to record this video, and therefore I couldn't. So now we're here on War Practice, where we're going to use this same team, but we're going to go up against Unlimited X-Men in War. And as you can notice, it's a slight punch-up. Rogue is tier 16, Phantom X is 16, and Gambit is 16. We're going to utilize a very similar principle to what we've been using in RTA, and this is actually one of my more favorite attacks for this team if you're using them on the offense, because I think it's quite interesting. Even though, I mean, the Underworld team is designed to be a war offense team anyways. What's really important here is making sure that you, I was going to say get the blind on Gambit, but hopefully we can land all our debuffs. We do. We flip all the defense up, so that's good. But even though that this is going to happen, now Dazzler flips 2 of them, so not all of them. And you still want to make sure that you go after Rogue. This is really important to do here. Because you want to get her down first and Gambit second where possible. And as soon as you get that stun, like look at her hit points. Yeah, even though, so I'm going to pivot to Gambit now. And then he's going to go into stealth. But then we flip that, so that's fine. And then with Rogue being in stunned, she's not really going to do a whole lot at the moment, so that's okay. A lot of minions on the field. We might actually kill her with some hand archer. It was close. Gambit's down now. I was going to say it's close to the hand archer. I need to get my Kingpin up a little bit more because even just from the Dazzler AoE, you know, that did hurt. So I need to kind of bump that up a little bit more, but everyone else is still pretty healthy, so that's good. Yeah, Kingpin's on like death's door here, but that's okay. I'm gonna get him up to gear tier 14 at some point, but just look at those assists from Taskmaster. It's honestly just really bonkers how much damage he does. So now that he's stunned as well, I'm gonna actually go for Dazzler. We're just gonna finish her off, and it just, you know, why not? Just throw up some extra buffs, and everyone has a crap ton of buffs. And it's just crazy that a bunch of... Okay, I know what you're going to say, is that a lot of this is carried by some of the tangled web characters, they definitely are there for the control. I'm not going to lie. But that's what I really like about this team is that you don't, at least for the moment, there is some use in some alliance war and other game mode functions where you can use this, not in a full team variety. Taskmaster does a lot of damage, especially in war, for some heavy lifting. So there you have it. They just destroyed the X-Men. Who would have thought that a bunch of randos from New York, I don't know where they're from, but, a bunch of city villains, essentially, and Taskmaster just kicking the crap out of the X-Men. Now, what else can you do with this team? I wouldn't recommend going up against Hero as Guardians or Heroes for Hire, obviously, but they can destroy a lot of sort of lesser meta teams, and they actually do, if you happen to see Weapon X on defense, is very rare, but they also can destroy Eternals teams as well. If you see any Eternals on the defense, because of the speed that they get, it puts them ahead of a lot of other teams. So you're not going to, the top meta defense teams aren't going to win. Young Avengers are, I actually have punched down against them, but because of Squirrel Girl's cleansing, it does make it a little bit more difficult, so I typically wouldn't recommend that. But more broadly, it's a fun team to use. You can also stick it on so this team here, team number 9 here with the Eternals, you can see my cursor for some reason has disappeared again. They would absolutely destroy this. Now, you can also put this on the defense because I currently do actually have them on the defense myself, and they are doing quite well. I picked up a couple of defense victories each time. Where is mine? I believe it's over here, room number 6. So what I have done is I've actually, instead of 2099, I put Green Goblin back in for the moment. I do plan on leveling them both a little bit more because I do want the full Underworld team up a little bit. The reason for this is because Taskmaster does get speed bar per member of the Underworld team, and for certain fights that you do want to have 4 of them with Spider Weaver. However, like I said, I don't think you can beat Unlimited X-Men if you don't have Spider-Man 2099. So it depends on what you're going to use. On the defense, I would recommend this, my variant that I'm using right now. If you are going to use in the offense, instead of Green Goblin, I would use 2099 instead, and you can have a very fun fight against the Unlimited X-Men and a bunch of others as well. So I just wanted to share with you just something that I'm having fun with. The Underworld team is something that I'm slowly building on the side because I want a pet project of mine to kind of keep myself motivated in the game. Sometimes, it can be a bit of a drag, and this has been something just really fun for me that I wanted to share with you all. So let me know in the comments down below what you think, and of course, until next time, stay safe and healthy, and I'll see you all later. Boilon signing out.